Hmm. All right, welcome to Franchise Time Machine. Give me 1 second. I got to get one more thing set up here, and then we'll be ready to go. All right. Sorry for the delay there. Ready to start up. Tomato, I hope you're saving frequently. Although if you're on Google Sheets, you don't have to worry about saving as much, which is nice. But man, I'd hate for you to lose all that work. This is cool though. You're doing that international save. I think Twins 34 was working on an NCAA save. Like he was gonna do all the conferences and all the teams. I'm not sure how he was planning to do the players, but I think he also intended to. I don't know if he meant to share it on the forum or see if he could get it turned into a quick start that can be shared. But yeah, I like that you guys are working on um, similar things with very different scopes, but very cool projects. Oh, so for anyone in the chat who is just kind of walking in on this, Tomatoes building a I guess it's an international save. Is that a way? Is that the best way to say it, Tomato? It's gonna have. Is it every country or every country that plays baseball? World Baseball League. That's great. That's awesome. International. Oh, okay. So every country that's been involved in international. That's a good way to do it. Does that include Little League World Series? What we're going to do tonight is 31 countries so far. That's awesome. We're going to dust off a concept I started up a while ago. Actually, never really started up other than to collect rosters from people. But the idea was at first it was just going to be I was just going to build a Mets save and single season and just put all my favorite Mets on it and do a sim. But then I was thinking, everybody in the community has their favorite team, and I started the affiliates and asked them, Ezra Denny, thank you for the raid. Welcome to the stream. I always like the Ezra Denny seventh inning stretch, but this one was especially good. I really enjoyed seeing that Bob Renly single game uh like an entire story in a single game. That was awesome. That was really cool. I did not know that story about him. But the failure and the redemption all in one game. Yes, he lost the game and then won it. That was great. And to literally do it in the last at bat in walk off fashion. I mean, you couldn't write that story. No one would believe it. So for those of you who didn't see it, who maybe just started in my stream tonight, uh, let me give a shout out to Ezra here. Check out Ezra's stream. I'm sure. I hope the VOD will be up for tonight. Check out the seventh inning stretch. And follow Ezra every he's doing now a 1960 Giants save, and every game he has some interesting bit of usually video, I think, sometimes baseball, sometimes pop culture, but always something entertaining and interesting for the seventh inning stretch. Ezra misses 1959. I believe you're safe. You won the World Series with the Giants in 1958 and 1959. Is that right? And now you're early in the 1960 season. Always a good time in OOTP After Dark with Ezra Denny. Highly recommended. So yeah, so And Ezra, I don't think I ever asked you for this because I think you were away when I started this. Um, but a bunch of affiliates and some community OTP community members have sent me their 26-man rosters for their favorite players from their favorite franchise. So EVC sent me the Dodgers. Dr. Dynastic sent me his favorite A's roster. Um, who else? Spore. I think he either sent me or is going to send me Giants. Cheeky sent me his Padres. Um, but I've been waiting to do it because I thought I should go first. Because if there are any bugs to be worked out, we should do it with my team. Yeah. So your all-time favorite Giants. So just the player and the year that you want for that player. Um, the if you could give me a 26-man roster, we'll import it and run this in. And eventually, what I want to do is take all of these teams that we build, put them into a league, and sim a season with all of our favorite players playing against each other. Um, oh, Fussmacher is sent me the Yankees. Um, Lap is going to send me the Blue Jays, although I think I'd probably need to remind him. Um, so yeah, I think I have over half the league represented at this point. But I stopped asking people because I hadn't started it yet, and I didn't want to kind of overpromise and have people waiting to see what happens. So yes, AW got beat out. Um, but I thought we'd go ahead and do that roster build tonight so that I can finally, you know, get started on all that. So let me do a Google sheet here. Uh, you like other teams too. You know what? Let me give. I have to check the list I have because there are still a few folks that I have requests out to that I still need to follow up with. I actually surprisingly I think the Cardinals might not be claimed. But let me check. I actually have that list in a different account for a reason that's basically laziness. Or otherwise I'd pull it up right now. So let me open a Google sheet here. We'll do a roster build. And then the 10 pack giveaway, we'll just guess the outcome of the season. Does everyone in the chat like it better when I do the black background? I started doing that based on feedback from Cheeky, and it made sense, but I wasn't sure if that's just like a idiosyncratic thing he cares about, or if other people prefer it. Yes, it's late. Yes, okay. No blinding you. Got it. Got it. I'm sure there's probably like a dark mode that I could just go into, but um, I'm probably doing it the less intelligent long way. All right, so here's the spreadsheet we'll be using. So we'll do roster number, position, name, player ID, season, or year. We'll just put year, destination. Okay. All right. And actually, why don't I put up the form so you get, in case people have to split, you can all go ahead and get your guesses in. While I get the Google form, I'll let you look at this beautiful cover page. Now, normally I would have put Nolan Ryan on there, but his seasons with the Mets were actually not that good. So he is my favorite pitcher, but I won't be able to pick him. One of the rules I made was if you're picking a player who played, who might have played for multiple franchises or multiple teams, you have to pick a season where he played for your team. Um, which is one of the issues I have. I don't know if you know this, there's an all time greats quick start that comes with the OOTP. But on one of my streams when I was starting up this project, I looked at it, and one of the things I didn't like about it is they have players on teams, but they use seasons where they weren't playing with that particular team. Um, like for example, I think it was the Padres. I think we're looking at it because we're working on Cheeky's roster, and they have John Kruk in there, but they have one of his Philly seasons. And to me, that's just wrong. If you're building a Padres favorites list, you shouldn't be grabbing a Phillies season for one of your players. I mean, that's just how I feel about it. But that's what I've asked people to do when they choose their rosters. All right, so let me make a copy of this yesterday's um, yesterday's form. By the way, how have these pack giveaway contests been for you guys? Are they working out all right? Are they interesting and entertaining, or do they feel kind of? I mean, I want them to be random-ish. They've been good. Okay, good. Um, Mets franchise favorites. Now, what I won't do is I was initially going to have things like who's going to lead the team in this or who's going to lead the team on that. But I do want people to feel like they can submit and leave if they have to. So if you don't see the roster build, you won't know who's on the team. So I'm going to switch it to things like what will be the team leading uh, WAR or WHIP or OPS. I don't know, or maybe y'all wanted to require people to stay for a while so that you have an advantage. Or submitting good night. Yeah. I don't know. My personal bias is that like I think that should be okay. But I do understand why some streamers are like, yeah, you have to be present to win. But I realize I stream so late, I don't want to penalize anyone who actually wants to get to bed. So we're gonna do it in 2023. Our usual Usual settings: no injuries, no suspensions, personality off, chemistry off, morale off, development off, no historical trades, no trades. Modifier set to 1. ALB in charge of all decision once the season starts. Okay. And please remember the the um, the OOTP ID only has to be case sensitive. Tomatoes has sleeper for the week. Okay. What's a good first question is no, I know. Well, we'll do the usual. Will this team make the playoffs? Yes. No. Okay. Second one will be: will this team make it to the World Series? Yes or no? Or will this team win the World Series? I guess these are all technically tiebreakers, but um, how many regular season games will this team win? Um, will you know what? No, no. This will come before the wins will be a good type a final. Will anyone from this team win a Award, Cy Young or MVP award? And or in case we win both. So this one will come before the regular season wins. And just in case there's a tie after a regular season wins, we'll say um, what will be the team leading war? Okay, that'll be our quiz for today. Let me uh let me open up the form. Do that right away first. It's now open. And let me get a URL to put in the chat. Link to link to form for tonight's 10-pack giveaway. LA Chargers signed a guy named DiCaprio Boodle to their practice squad. Is that a real name? DiCaprio Boodle? That's amazing. That's great. I gotta send that to my buddy. We have a one of my friends from undergrad. We have a running list of our favorite sports names, like Scientific Map and Godsham God. He will appreciate DiCaprio Boodle. All right, so the form is up. Any of y'all need to go to bed, feel free to go ahead and submit that now while we build the roster. So let's open BREF. We're going to need BREF for player IDs and to pick out peak seasons. And for those of you not familiar with the base game or importing players, one reason I use BREF versus maybe some other baseball stat resources is the player ID in BREF also matches the OOTP player ID. So it makes it easy to put our roster form together. Oh, you know what I never thought about doing? I I bet there's just like a Mets all-time WAR leaders. It would be a good resource to help me remember players I might have missed. Also, there are eras of the Mets where I'm not as knowledgeable, especially like 70s. Like I know the 60s pretty well because I was just fascinated by how bad those 60s Mets teams were. Um, the 80s is probably 80s and early 90s is probably when I have the deepest knowledge. Um, is BREF messing up my audio feed? And there's some like real gaps in the 2000s where I just wasn't following baseball as much. So what was I going to do? Oh yeah, I was going to look at, geez, how many people pitch for the Mets and wait, is this a 2024 roster? Holy cow. Did all these people pitch for the Mets this season? Yikes. Look at this 15-day IL, 15-day IL, 15-day IL. Oh, I'm not even showing you what I'm talking about. How many players is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Is it 26 pitchers, really? That seems insane. I mean, some only pitched a few games, but still. Wow. I mean, is it every team because of like there's so many arm injuries, or is it just a Mets thing? Anyway, what I was thinking was there's probably an all-time. I don't want year by year top tens. I don't think I want. No, I want. Okay, hold on. Okay, leaders, top 10 single season. So here's my problem with BREF. As much as I like it, I often find it easier to go back out into Google and search for what I'm looking for than it is to like navigate within BREF. Oh, this is great. Same for Togmado. Yeah. So to me, that's like a sign of a not so great platform is your internal search is sending people externally to search. Okay, so let's start building. So I'm just going to number these so I know when I hit 26. I know I can just look at the rows and subtract one, but okay. So I think we'll start with I definitely want Gary Carter at catcher. The thing I've been wondering that is, do I take Piazza as the other catcher? And if I do, is he going to end up actually DHing? And then do I need to take a third catcher? I don't know yet. Um, part of it is I don't necessarily know. And it may be a decision I make after I import him and see what his defensive ratings in the base game look like. Um, so I guess we'll just go around the horn. I definitely want Keith Hernandez. AW, did you face your own alt in 6L? That's amazing. Hey, Max. Oh, Max, I was wondering if you're around. I'm assuming you're streaming tonight. Is that right, Max? Your new PAX only team. That's great. Wait, which one won? I'm assuming you want your new team to win so they can collect some packs, right? The new one won. I'm hoping that's what you wanted. So here's the thing. I think I think Edgardo Alfonso played more third base than second base, but I need a second baseman. The Mets' history is not full of great second basemen. So I think I'm going to put Alfonso at second base. Yeah, but with Roberto Alomar, I have to take one of his Mets seasons, and I don't think he had very good Mets seasons. The Mets have a great ability of acquiring players on their way down. Um, I mean, seriously, like even players that just had like one peak, like Carlos Baerga comes to mind, uh, and even players who weren't even that great, like Juan Samuel comes to mind. We get them on their way down. So I thinking shortstop is probably Jose Reyes. Again, when I do this, it's a reminder of how kind of shallow the history of the Mets is. They don't have a lot of great players. Like I'm going to take Jeff McNeil as a bench player. Yeah, Daniel Murphy, Sci as a bench player. But as far as like everyday second baseman, it's hard to put them out there because of their fielding. Um, so at least third base we have David Wright. But like, there are very few positions where you would look at oh, wait, I actually put this in the wrong order. There are very few positions for the Mets where we have a player like a Willie Mays or Mickey Mantle, and you're like, oh yeah, that player's an all-time great. That position is bulletproof. Every position is like, yeah, I guess this is the best. So even for center field, um, I'm assuming we're going to take a Carlos Beltran season, but I don't know if he was actually playing center field in the seasons where he was best, or that his center field is like center field we necessarily want. Um, right? I view other teams with envy when I think about like if you're the Twins, you just stick Kirby Puckett out there and forget about it. Um, if you're the Giants, it's Willie Mays, no doubt, you're done. Um, but for the Mets, it's like, oh, I think it's Beltran. Did he play center field that year? Was he any good at center field? Um, and like for right field, I think I got to pick Darryl Strawberry. What I think people forget, even in '86 when the Mets won the World Series, he didn't even hit 30 home runs that year. Um, I think his peak home run season was 38, right? And you have a bunch of other franchises where they're going to have corner outfielders hitting 40, 50, even 60 bombs. So, and then let's put some bench players. We'll go 14 and 12 for batters versus um, pitchers. This is where I think I'm going to take a Jeff McNeil. Oh no, maybe Daniel Murphy. Oh wait, you know what I forgot about? I can take Reyes to the bench because we'll go ahead and take a Lindor season. I'd like to take this season, but it's not done yet. I think this is shaping up to be like this is what we're hoping for. I think when we signed Lindor was a season like this. We'll take Alonso, probably be a DH. Um, I think we'll probably need Tommy Agee to play outfield. Tommy with an A-I-E. Right, but like most franchises, Tommy Agee is not even getting within like sniffing range of an all-time list. Oh, you know who I forgot about? Someone in the chat mentioned Lance Johnson. Talkmado mentioned Lance Johnson. And Cleon Jones too. That's a good call. See, the thing is, I have too many like mediocre outfielders. I bet other franchises don't have this problem. We have a lot of guys who could go into the Hall of Very Good. Um, I think we're gonna have to look at their seasons to see who we take, but I think it's probably some version of uh, Gilkey, Johnson, Cleon. It might not even be AG. Might just be in the mix. AG. Oh, Benia, please don't. Oh man, I may have to look at him. Uh Daniel Murphy. I think I also have to look at McNeil. Yeah, we did have Willie Mays for 2 seasons. That is true. uh, and Granderson, I don't think he had any great season with the Mets, but I think we do have to look into that. So, um, I may have to look at Howard Johnson too. This is what happens when you have a team that doesn't have a great history. There's just like a log jam of like okay players that you have to consider. Um, I I don't think he makes a cut, but I think Olerud we have to look at. Um, so I like Benny Agbayani. I just don't think he has a season that's going to make the cut here. And I don't think. Um, trying to think who else. I don't think I have to put Nimmo in the mix. Okay, I'm hoping the pitching is going to be a little easier. I mean, it's pretty easy to start with 85 good. Oh, yeah, so I understand Cespedes. That's right. I have to consider Cespedes. All right, the pitching should be a little easier. All right, we're gonna go with oops. We'll go with Gooden. Hey, no, I don't need Mookie Wilson. We need Tom Seaver. We need Jake. Yeah, Jacob Degrom. We need. I think we need Kuzman, but I need to check. Um, we need. I think Johan Santana was good enough when he was a Met that he probably makes the cut. But I need to check him and Pedro. I think their Met seasons were good enough. Um, I think there's a really good Sid Fernandez season in there. Okay, this is not as easy as I thought because I'm starting to run into pitchers where I need an R.A. Dickey, right? I think he had a. There's probably a decent enough Matt Harvey. Um, there's got to be a good enough David Cohn. Um, Syndergaard, maybe. I think that's right. Oh, I just forgot his last name. First name though, Noah Syndergaard. Okay, I need to look at the list now. Let me look at the list. Wow, John Matlack has a top five WAR season from 1974. All right, we'll take that. Wow, they have Al Leiter at number 12 all time, and Frank Viola at number 13. Okay, I need to look at both of them. Yeah, no, I know AW. If I could, I would pick multiple Nolan Ryan seasons, but they all came after after the Mets traded him. Let's see. Oh, I did a pretty good job. I didn't miss too many of the top 20. Although I have Cone on my list, and Cone is number 24. That's interesting. I would have thought he had much better seasons than that. So yeah, let's here. I'll show you the list I'm looking at here. I was pretty good though. Other than John Matlack, I got most of the top 10, and then I didn't realize Leiter and Viola until I looked at the list. Right, I had El Cid. He's number 16. And then I had R.A. Dickey. I missed Craig Swan at 23, and I went with David Cohn, who's 24th. This is crazy. That Gooden 84 season was, I mean, the 85 season is like the crazy season, but oh, yeah, Saberhagen did have some good seasons with the Mets. That's right. Um, Nowhere near as good as he was with the Royals, but all right, let me add Saberhagen as a possibility. I want to put him with the Santana Pedro Saberhagen. But even as you can see from here, like the Mets get a lot of retreads, and if we're lucky, we get a good season or two. Most cases, we get like the full decline. Oh, where is Big Sexy? I don't know. That's crazy. He doesn't have a season in the top 50. Yeah, and even that 86 Gooden season, like the 85 was the one I'm going to take, but this 86 season, it's only 43rd all-time Mets seasons. Also, because WAR is not kind to relief pitchers, there's no John Franco. Um, Actually, we should look at saves leaders. I will say, having done multiple over the years, the game engine does not like John Franco. Well, I do agree. Talking about he is overrated. He has more saves than his save numbers. I think overstate how good he was. Oh, some of these Armando Benitez years might be good. Yeah, Armando for sure. Okay, let me look at some closers here. Um, I think I do have to look at Edwin Diaz, and I'm kind of curious to see how good this Francisco Rodriguez season was. I can't really see taking Familia though. I just remember being so anxious whenever he was pitching. I have a hard time adding him to a franchise favorites team. Um, I mean, my favorite closing duo was when Roger McDowell and Jesse Orosco would come in face righty lefty. That was always super fun. Yeah, Orozco in '84. I'm actually surprised he made the list because he and McDowell were like splitting uh reliever duty. So no one of them actually piled up a ton of saves, but I'm surprised he got as many as 31 in '84. And then McDowell had 25 in '87. Oh, Randy Myers. I'm surprised he's so far down the list because I thought he had some effective seasons for the Mets. Yeah, see, here's Orozco was 17, 17. McDowell was 16. They were splitting closer duties. Um, who was I talking about? Oh yeah, Randy Myers. Because when he was good, he was really good. Oh, look, they have him with the Mets hat on in his profile. Ooh, that's a good season. 1.72 ERA, 26 saves, .912 um, WHIP. Got MVP votes, which is really hard to do as a reliever. I might have to add Randy Myers to this list. I actually really liked watching him pitch too. If we do take him, it'll be his 1988 season. Edwin Diaz. I can't. I don't think I could take Familia. Let me pull him up. He was never a favorite of mine just because there was so much anxiety when he would pitch. Actually, his walk per nine numbers are not as bad as I remember. I mean, the 5.5 is what I was expecting to be every year, but man, he had a 2.2 in 2015. Ah, man, I might have to take him. This 2015 season is pretty good. That was time made it with Brian Wilson. Oh man, I'm okay. I'm gonna add him to the list. What season was that? If I do take him, it's gonna be 2015. Is there anyone else from this saves list? I mean, I guess I kind of have to look at Franco, but I'll look at Franco and Diaz too. Yeah, Billy Wagner, good call. Okay, all right, let's do some shopping now. All right, so here's what we got. I think 80% of the roster is set. I have to look at a few players here to figure out who's going to make the cut. Um, it's pretty sad though. Like, I mean, the Mets are an expansion team, but you can only use that excuse for so long. It's almost 50 years now. Um, and the fact that like I have to sort through Bernard Gilkey and Lance Johnson and Cleon Jones to figure out like who gets one of the roster spots. This is when I envy fans of other teams who are just like, okay, it's Ted Williams. What's next? Right? Like I don't have that. Yeah. Or I'm sure some teams have like two amazing players to pick from. I don't have that either. So it's just like a bunch of mediocre players to pick from. When you say how many, it's just a 26-man roster. So I have to have the right positions and I have to have enough players. The one good thing is with Alfonso and assuming Daniel Murphy makes the team and even Jose Reyes, they played enough positions where I'm not too worried about position coverage. Um, Outfield might be an issue. I might have to go with an outfielder who can play multiple positions instead of maybe like the best outfielder, but hopefully it doesn't come to that. Especially because like the talent pool is pretty thin to begin with. All right, so we'll go Gary Carter and we'll pick his peak season. I'm assuming it's going to be 86, but there's a chance it'll be 85, is what I'm basically looking at here. Um, yeah, because in '85 he had more bombs, higher OPS. Um, yeah, he led the majors in sack flies with 15 in '86. He never had double digits before or after. Yeah, Tom Mano, if I ended up making Piazza DH, Todd Hundley was the other catcher I was thinking about. So yeah, I think I'm going to take this '85 Carter instead of the '86 Carter. All right, let's look at Piazza now. What is this column? Oh, let the league in with 27 double plays grounded into. I mean, these are legit amazing offensive seasons. I'm just curious to see what his defensive profile looks like in the base game. I mean, this 2000 season where his 10-12 OPS, that's pretty amazing. Yeah, Addison Reed, he was on that list of saves. Um, yeah, I think it's the 2000 Piazza we'll go with. Keith Hernandez. Oh yeah, no, Carter's catcher one. The question was, would catcher two be Piazza or Hundley? And I would only go Hundley if Piazza went DH. I think Hernandez also had a pretty productive '85, or maybe it was '84. I'm thinking of. Yeah, '84. Um, this is interesting. I didn't realize how low his OPS was with the Mets. He didn't crack 900. But this is what that they needed. Like this consistency, his glove at first base, the consistency at the plate. I mean, he hit 300 for 4 seasons in a row and 290 in the next, right? Like that's what they needed. And the funny thing is, I was ESPN has a great 4-part series about the '86 Mets and how the Cardinals got rid of him because he was too unprofessional. But the Mets needed his professionalism. So it gives you an idea how dysfunctional the Mets were in the early '80s. That a great hitter who was cast off for not being professional enough is like the paragon of professionalism in New York. When I saw that part of the special, I was dying. I thought that was so good. uh, let's see. Which do I like better, 84 or 86? Same OPS, almost the same batting average. A couple more home runs in '84. All right, we'll take uh fewer strikeouts in '86. We'll take the '84. I kind of like the idea of not taking all '86 seasons. All right, Edgardo Alfonso. So far, everyone on the list has been super fun to watch. But I especially like watching Hernandez play first base. I thought he was great over there. Just fun to watch him field, which I mean, that's saying something because that's usually not the most exciting part of the game. Here's his peak OPS season, 967. Yeah, I like it. We'll take 2000 Edgardo Alfonso. Great, and he did place second base that year. That's before they moved him to third, so that's perfect. That's what we need. So from the 2000 team, we've taken Piazza and Alfonso. All right, this will be fun. I've been looking forward to seeing which David Wright season we take. Look at this consistency. That's his peak, though, right there, 963 OPS. It's also his highest MVP voting position, second highest home run total. He had way more RBIs in 2008, but we're looking at rate numbers here for the game, so I'm taking 2007. He also had a second burst. I remember later in his career. Yeah, here it is, 2012 and 2013. Um, yeah, it's still not as good though. We'll take that 2007. Seven. Okay, this is a question mark. Do we have a good enough of a Francisco Lindor season before this season? I hope so because we're pretty thin at shortstop. Hmm. Well, I was right. This season is the best so far, but there's nothing to import there yet. So last season would be the best. 31 home runs is good, but that 254 is pretty rough. I mean, 806 is decent for a shortstop, but for an all-time franchise team, it's hard to. I do have Jose Reyes. I have him on the bench right now. Let me see what he looks like. Man, look at that. 17 and 19 triples. That's a fun player right there. This 2006 season's pretty good. Led the majors in triples, led the majors in stolen bases, while actually not leading the majors in caught stealing like he did the next year. I'll be curious to see how his defense is rated in the base game. But the other season to consider, I think, is probably this one where he hit 337. His stolen bases are way down by then, but the 877 OPS is pretty good. So the question is, do we want a lighter hitting, speedier Reyes, or do we want a better hitting, less speedy Reyes? I also like that his caught stealing came down to 7. I think I'm going to take the 2011 Reyes. Yeah. And this is a better season, frankly, than the Lindor. When this season's over, I'll probably end up taking. Um, I would probably end up taking this season's Lindor, but I'm okay with this 2011 race. Check the D War. Okay, we can do that. Oh, it's probably under advanced fielding, huh? Fielding advanced stats. Oh, I thought Dior was under advanced fielding. Is that not where it goes? Oh, advanced batting? That would be a weird place for it, but you might be right. Oh, you know why? It's a value. That's why it's player value. Even though it says batting, it's under player value. That makes sense. 2011, 6.1. Oh, wait, that was O War. D War, negative zero point 0.8. Let's see what Lindor's got. 1.6. That is significantly better. It is significantly better, but so hard to compare because it's like 31 bombs versus 16 triples. They're such different players. I don't know. I think I like the 370, 337 with 16 triples better than the 254 with 31 home runs. 336 on base percentage. You use '06 Reyes because of the defense. You like the negative zero point 0.6 D war. It's funny. They have the same number of walks. The oh no, 2006. He has fewer walks. Oh no, no. I was looking at 2011. Also fewer walks. I think it's still Reyes. By the time this season's done, I think Lindor will probably replace him. But the other thing that's crazy too is it's weird to me that he's already 10 seasons into his career. Like I like the way this season's shaping up much better. I mean, of course, there's gonna be more home runs, it's gonna be higher OPS. Um, but yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the Reyes for now. And I do like the idea of having a 16 triples guy on the team. That is pretty awesome. Okay, Jose Reyes and 2011. Okay, let me skip left field for now and let's jump to center field. I need to see if I need to see if Carlos Beltran's playing center field these seasons because that might change a lot of stuff about who we pick where. All right, so the season I probably want is this 41 bomb season. Yeah, 982 OPS. Okay, so 2006. Let's go to advanced batting player value. 2006 D War. Ah, 1.6 at center field. Okay, so we're good. We'll have an '06 Beltran in center field. That helps make the rest of the decisions a little easier. '2006. Okay, and then let's look at the strawberries. I think 38 bombs is the most he hit with the Mets. Might be 39. Oh, 39. Did it twice. That's interesting. In '87, he had an OPS of 981, but in '88, he led the league with a 911 OPS. Um, who was he chasing in '87 that his 981? Oh, Jack Clark. Yeah, Jack Clark had a monster year. I forgot about that. Yeah. That was also the year Dawson hit almost 50 bombs. Yes, this is based on real stats and not neutralized. You'd say 87 is better. I would tend to agree. Like whatever season has the best rates, I think is the one to go with. But yeah, I think everyone thinks of 86, but see, he didn't hit 30 that year. He had 27. So we'll go with 87 Strawberry. All right, I like it. I did like that Strawberry card we got. It was probably close to meta for a little while, right? I think he had like 144 power in Perfect Team, 140 something power. 1987. I never got the card, but I grabbed it plenty of times in draft tournaments for sure. Okay, this is the big question now on left field. I have a feeling Cespedes might have the best season of the bunch, but I need to look at Agee and Jones in particular because they're a little before my time. This is surprising. I mean, 2015 was a split season, so we can't really take that 942 OPS, but yeah, he didn't clear 900 with the Mets. This 884 might be the best. He had a shorter season 17, a little bit higher OPS, but okay, that's not spectacular though. Let me see. Cleon Jones, 904 OPS and 69, which is actually crazy because the 68, 69 were such good pitcher years. Yeah, this 69 Jones is going to be hard to beat, I think. We'll pencil him in as a starter for now. It'll be 1969. I wonder if you take him out of that era into a more batter friendly era too, if he blows up. So I think Daniel Murphy is gonna be my first bench player. I like that he's gonna have multiple positions. Yeah. Oh man, figures. His first season after the Mets, 985 OPS. 809 with the Mets with a 320 average. Played first, second, and third with some left field. I'm gonna take it down just in case we need him, but I'd like to replace this if I can. By the way, Murph DA, Daniel Murphy, is the '08 Murph DA '08. There were 7 Murph DAs before him. 2011. I just want to make sure I check Jeff McNeil too. He's gonna be horrible in the field, but 836 OPS, played second, a little bit of third. Oh, we're gonna import all his career fielding though, so he'll get some of this shortstop from 23, second and third from other seasons. Oh, this 2019 McNeil. I think I'd rather have that than the Murphy. So I'm going to take the 2019 McNeil, I think. Yeah, I think Daniel Murphy might get booted. Okay. Pete Alonso, probably is DH. And then he can back up at first when Hernandez needs a rest. Assuming it's going to be his rookie year. Yeah, 941 OPS, 260 average. The only one that might come close is this here at 271 if the OPS is down. So we'll take his rookie year, 2019. Maybe we end up playing. I know we can't take this season, but maybe we take Lindor as our utility infielder off the bench. I mean, we have Jeff McNeil, but he's more of a. I mean, we'll be lucky if it imports some shortstop for him. Oh, the problem is he doesn't give us any positional flexibility. He's shortstop only. Okay, I'm just going to take that as info for potential bench purposes. Okay. I do think I need to look at Howard Johnson. I mean, the Mets' history is not deep, y'all. I do have to look at Howard Johnson. I mean, 2 30 30 seasons. The hotel, yeah, Howard Johnson's the hotel slash restaurant. Yes. Oh wow, three 30-30 seasons. I didn't realize he cleared 900 OPS one year. 30-40 season, 928 OPS. We'll get some third base and shortstop. He might actually be our other backup infielder then. 1989 Howard Johnson. All right, so now let's look at. We're not going to need Olerud because we've got Hernandez and Alonso. I'm pretty comfortable with those two. Um, Olerud might have some better batting seasons than Hernandez, but I mean, it is franchise favorites, and I really like Hernandez at first base. So, well, let's look at Curtis Granderson. I think what he brought to the Mets was more stuff that doesn't necessarily show up in his card. Yeah, 821 OPS, 26 home runs. Yeah, I don't see him overtaking any of the others. Let's look up Gilkey. Ike Davis is the real Mr. Met. I mean, it's funny to look him up because I think of Gilkey as a Cardinal, but here he is with the Mets. Wow, 955 OPS? Jeez. 30 bombs? I mean, not only do I want to take him as an outfielder, he may end up. Oh, you know what? I wonder. He might actually start in left instead of Jones. But I think he's got the pole position now on the first bench outfield spot. I just didn't realize he only played left field. But yeah, that's an amazing season, 1996, by Mets terms at least. Okay, then let me look up Lance Johnson. I know he had at least one good year with the Mets. Wow, I did not realize he had so much black ink. Oh, this will be cool if we have Reyes with 16 triples and Lance Johnson with 21 triples. Again, they're single position players though. That's killing me. God, 227 hits. That's so many hits. The problem is once we do Lance Johnson here, we're out of batter positions. But that is a pretty crazy season. All right, just for kicks, I need to look up Tommy Agee. Okay, I feel okay passing up on him. This was probably his best two seasons here. I don't think he makes the cut. So that's I think we're good. All right, so this is what the batter roster looks like. We've got 14 batters now. Carter, Piazza, Hernandez, Alfonso, Wright, Reyes, Jones, Beltran, Strawberry, McNeil, Johnson, Alonso, Gilkey, and Johnson, Lance Johnson, Howard Johnson. But I mean, the bench for this team would be like the scrubs on any other team, franchises all time teams. That's what you're dealing with the Mets. All right, so let's knock out the pitching staff, and then we'll do the import, and we'll do the sim. So for Gooden, I'm pretty sure I'm taking the 85 Gooden. I don't think there's much doubt here. Yeah, what a stat line. Geez, now that's an all like this is the one place where the Mets have some all-time stat lines. Like that 85 Gooden season is crazy good. The funny thing is his strikeouts per nine were way higher in 84. And that's the season I remember watching him pitch the most. And it was crazy. But yeah, the whip got even lower in 85, which is nuts. All right. And then I think this will be fun picking the best Seaver season and picking the best DeGrom season. The good thing is injuries are off, so we can actually take an injury shortened DeGrom season and get the full season out of him, which might change things. Look at all this black ink. This is where I really like to have a whip plus, but I'm assuming it's the 71 season. Coming into it, I assumed it would be the 71, but there's so many good seasons here. The funny thing is, like, he racked up so many strikeouts, but it was also because he racked up so many innings that 9.1 is his highest strikeouts per nine. It was like surprising to me when I first saw that. Um, yeah, I think it's a 71 season. There are a lot of good ones to pick from, though. 4.74 strikeouts per walk, too. That's awesome. Right, so 1971. Also, too, just always seemed like such a class act. Tom Seaver did. DeGrom. So any injury shortened season we get the full benefit from. I mean, these whips are like ridiculous. Oh my goodness. Do we take this injury shortened 21 season with a .554 whip? I don't think I can in good conscience. With 64 innings, I can't do that. It would be fun though. Oh, 92 innings. It's 92. Sorry, it's 92 innings. I feel like it's got to be at least 100 innings. I don't think I can take this. Oh, I don't know. It's tempting though. I mean, he missed half the season. Crazy thing is, he still came in ninth in Cy Young voting. He was so insane. Yeah, I think it's 2018. Although I am tempted to take this 13.8 strikeout per nine. Oh, that's another super short season though. Yeah, I guess I gotta go 18. Although if I were really leaning into the fact that it's a video game, I would take 21. That 21 over a full season would be insane. All right, yeah, 2018. We'll go with 2018. But for the small sample size set, I'm going to suggest to Spore that he take that 20 2021 DeGrom and his .554 whip. All right. Next is Kuzman. Does Kuzman make the cut? Is the question. Little known fact. Well, the better known fact is that on um, Growing Pains, right? The main family, the name is the Seavers, but their neighbors were named the Kuzmans because of Tom Seaver and Jerry Kuzman. Okay, what's your best whip season, Jerry? 1.096, 1.058. Again, it's hard to tell though without a whip plus number here. He still had a 160 ERA plus in 1969. That's a pretty good season there. I'm grabbing his info for 1969 in case we need him. Okay, here's the big question. Between Johan Santana, Pedro Martinez, and Brett Saberhagen, are there Mets seasons? Yeah, 69 looks great. Don't take that out of context. I didn't even think about it until you said don't take it out of context. Was Johan Santana's Mets season good enough? I mean, career-wise, he has several great seasons, but as a Met is the question. Oh man, missed the full season due to injury. Led the majors in ERA his second year with the Mets. Led the league in WHIP. Oh, that was Minnesota. Oh, it was his first year with the Mets. No, he's better than I remember, but I mean, he was amazing with the Twins. He was better with the Mets than I remember. That's true. Um, but still not as good as he was with the. I mean, look at this: 3 seasons in a row, sub one WHIP. 5 seasons in a row with sub 1.1 WHIP. That's crazy good. Of course, that ends with the Mets. That's the way we do it. But yeah, we did get 3 good seasons out of him, which is unusual for a Mets acquisition. Okay, so he's close. Let me see what we got with Pedro. It's way past the video game years, but this first year with the Mets, 0.949 WHIP. His strikeouts per nine are down, but his strikeout to walk is still almost 4.5. And man, I did love watching him pitch. I think we got to take this '05 Pedro. I mean, sometimes it really was like watching a video game, watching him pitch. I mean, it would be great to be able to take one of these Boston years, but that '05 is pretty good. And then I did want to look at Brett Saberhagen. Again, I'd much rather have one of his KC years, but ooh, 11.00 strikeout to walk ratio. That's insane. So this was a strike shortened year. So surprisingly not an injury shortened year like the one before and the one before that. I mean, I kind of want to pick him just to have an 11 strikeout to walk ratio guy in the rotation. 1.026 whip, 153 ERA plus. Yeah, I think this 1994 Saberhagen, it might end up bumping a Sid Fernandez or somebody like that. Or it seems like I'm overestimating David Cohn, apparently. So let's slot him in for now. What I don't like though is that this rotation is starting to be full of guys that feel like rentals, right? That like we got and were good for a couple of years. All right, R.A. Dickey. Man, he pitched for 16 years in the majors. That's crazy. All right, this would be the potential best season. 1.053 whip. Led the league in strikeouts with 230. All right, I'm going to pick him for now. He may get bumped, but that's interesting. Is in the URL his player ID is Dicker R.01. I guess because it's R.A. Dickey. I hope that works. We may have to manually import him somehow if that doesn't. So this is what I'm really been interested in looking. I've been looking forward to is what Matt Harvey looks like because I have a particular memory of him as a pitcher on the Mets. I'm curious to see if the stats back it up or not. Because it was sad to watch him linger for so long after he had clearly lost it. Yeah, look at this 1.542, 2.743, 1.543 whips. Oh, it works with the dots? Okay, thanks, Takmedo. Thanks for confirming that. Um, okay, yeah, this was a sick season. Sub one whip. The next season he plays is 2015. Whip just over one. Yeah, it would be interesting to see what could have happened if he had been able to stay healthy. Yeah, I don't. I'm gonna take 2013 Matt Harvey because I did like watching him pitch, and it was super sad to watch him pitch after he'd fallen apart. I mean, this 2.743 is super small sample size, but he pitched 59 innings and 127 innings with 1.5 plus whip baseball, so that was a bummer to see at the end there. But we'll keep him in his. Now, this is the one that surprised me that David Cohn was not among the top ERA seasons. And I wonder if it's because he did all his best pitching before and after the Mets. Well, I guess after I forgot. I thought he pitched with Kansas City more before the Mets got him, but my memory is clearly flawed. Yeah, I mean, as far as win and strikeout totals, he had some good seasons. But when you look at the WHIP, it's not terrible, but it's also not great. It's 1.1s across the board. But he was super fun to watch, so I might have to pick him. This is probably his best season, 1.115 WHIP, but I liked watching him throw strikeouts, but his best strikeout seasons are not his best whip seasons. This is probably the best combo of the two. Man, the Mets really wasted some good years from him with some pretty not so great teams. You know what? I like watching him pick so much. I got to take a David Cohn here. It's my favorite, so I'm picking him, even though he's not as awesome as some of the other pitchers. We'll take Cohn, DA01, and we'll take the 1990. Okay. And then Sid Fernandez is the big question mark now. He's probably not as good as I remember now that I'm looking at all these stats. Yeah, it's these walks that really kind of kill him because his hits per nine are great. But actually, he had some sub 1.1 seasons. In this last year, I think he got, I remember him getting hurt maybe this year. He had a sub one whip. This was probably the most fun era when was getting the strikeouts, but he may not make the cut here. I'm gonna take down his info in case we need him, but I don't think he's gonna make the cut. But he was another one who was fun to watch pitch. Um, if we were to take a year, which one would we take? This is probably the best mix of 9 plus K9 with 1.1 minus whip, so 1988. Yeah, I think he's not going to make the cut though. And then Syndergaard is the other one. Did he have enough of a good season to make the cut? Ooh, 10.1 strikeouts per nine and zero point 0.9 walks per nine. Too bad it's a super injury shortened season because those are some amazing stats. Um, this is probably his best healthy full season. This is probably his best statistical season, 1.047 whip in his rookie year. I might have to take a flyer here on a 2015 rookie Syndergaard. And then this is a guy I want to see, John Matlack. I told you I had a gap in my knowledge in the 70s for the Mets, and he's right in there. Three consecutive All Star years, led the league in shutouts twice, 7 and 6. Never had a whip below 1.1, though. Rookie of the year in 72. Man, it's unfortunate. Good, real good rates, but then these terrible records on some mediocre teams. And not never much of a strikeout pitcher. What's his best year here? If I had to pick, I'd probably go by whip. So it's probably 74, 76. There's a strikeout per nine advantage in 74, so we'll call it 74. He might make it just to give some era diversity. 1974, man. Okay. And then I was surprised that Al Leiter and Frank Viola were in the top Ward seasons. Let's check out Al Leiter. Yeah, I don't. Why was his WAR so high? I guess WAR doesn't take into account rates; it just takes into account productivity or production, not even productivity, production. I don't see any of these seasons really making the cut. And then 1990 Frank Viola was the other. Wow, third in Cy Young voting? Well, this is also when wins and ERA carry the day. his whip didn't get below 1.1. Um, Again, it's a production thing, right? He threw he led the league in innings. Hey, congrats, Max! Max LP winning the low silver 2 days in a row. Nice. Is that a high diamond choice pack? Nice. Also, for some reason, I'm not hearing myself anymore, so I'm glad you guys can hear me. I listen to the stream through my headphones so I can hear if anything's off, but they should rename it the Low Silver 1939 Max LP at this point. That's great. What's your secret, Max? Tell us your secret. I don't see taking Viola over a couple of these closers though. I think maybe I take Randy Myers in that last reliever spot. So I take Myers Familia. I said look up Edwin Diaz. Oh man, this season is pretty crazy. .839 whip, 17 wide strikeouts for nine. Okay, maybe we'll take Edwin Diaz, Randy Myers, NEL combis basically. How hard were they to combine? They're actually much easier. Well, that's interesting. Oh, is that because they changed some of the combinator points for the NEL cards? They made an adjustment, right, at one point? That's good. Yeah, I think I'm going to take this 88 Myers. I think Matlack maybe gets the short end of the stick on this one, but and let me take one last look at Familia to make sure he doesn't get a spot. Yeah, if it is my favorites, he was never one of my favorites. He was always just too stressful to watch, so I'm okay passing on it. And then I think we just owe two more players a look, and then we're done. Billy Wagner. Oh, he did have some good seasons with the Mets. I wonder if I bump one of the borderline starters like Kuzmin. I like to get this arm into the pen here somehow. So here's the pitching staff right now. I think the top three are non-negotiable. Good and Seaver DeGrom. The Saberhagen could maybe go. The Kuzman could maybe go. How did you know I was on mute? Just not deep in thought. You're right, I was on mute. I was saying, I just don't think of Billy Wagner as a Met. I think of him as an Astro. As much as I want to grab this season because it's good, I mean, who would I mean? I like the idea of Syndergaard on this team, Matt Harvey on this team, David Cohn. I'm not going to cut Pedro because I just love watching him pitch. It's either Saberhagen, Kuzman, or I mean, the thing is, Randy Myers feels like a Met. I want to keep him on the team. Matlack's already gone. If I cut Kuzman, then we only have a few players from pre 1980. This is a great season, though. It's got a couple of my favorite things: a sub point nine WHIP, a 10 plus K9, and a 5 plus strikeout per walk ratio. I think it's Saberhagen. Do I cut Saberhagen for? I think I cut Saberhagen for Billy Wagner. I mean, Saberhagen feels as much as a Met as Billy Wagner. To me, Saberhagen's a Royal, Wagner's an Astro. Okay, there's one other player I said I would check, and that's Francisco Rodriguez. Yeah, I'm okay passing on this for sure. And I guess I owe John Franco a look, but the base game doesn't like him. I always thought he was a little overrated. This is crazy. Look at these strikeout to walk ratios 1.67, 1.7, 1992. Yeah, that's as good as he gets, I guess. I mean, no wonder the base game doesn't like him. His rates are bad. He got tons of saves, but his rates are not good. I don't have a problem. For some reason, I don't have a problem passing on John Franco. Um, okay, so we're done. We're gonna start the sim. I just need to create the roster sheet. Maybe this will help you guys finish up your entries too for the pack giveaway. All right, we ended up with a pretty fun roster though. It's a little depressing because the Mets are just not as good of a franchise as other teams that have been around, but it is what it is. I mean, when you look at the totality of the franchise, and yes, this is a fun roster, but the fact that this is as good as we can get is kind of sad. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little sad. I'm gonna be very envious when we start playing other people's rosters and they have much more fun, great players than we do on the Mets here. Missing an S here for Johnson. This is actually nice. It helps me see if I missed anything. David Cohn just has a four-letter last name, so does Edwin Diaz. Those are good. Just replacing these tabs with commas. I'm glad Tom Mania was able to tell us that the player IDs with the periods work, because I was a little worried about that R.A. Dickey with the period in his player ID. I mean, this team, I I guarantee is going to be in the bottom quartile of um, wins when we do the simulations because it's just not that good. I mean, over half this team would have a hard time making other franchises all-time lists. Maybe two-thirds would not make it. It's just not a deep franchise with a lot of history. Okay, let's save this as I'm going to name all these FF for franchise favorites and Mets. All right, so let's fire up the base game. What I'll do is I'll do everything to set up the season. I'm going to save it as a quick save because we're going to use the same one for uh everyone's rosters. Okay, so new game. Let me put the game up. Have I seen? Yeah, you know what though, Max? I bet the Mariners roster will be better because I have played with that because I was going to do both um until I asked Nolan to do it. And there are way more players on the Mariners all-time list that would make other teams than on the Mets list. Just having like Junior, Ichiro, A-Rod, Randy Johnson, like yeah, if we combine the two, then we could maybe go up against like a Giants or Yankees. We may have to pull in like the Rays or some other team. All right, historical team, not challenge mode. We do not need complete history. We're playing in 2023. We don't need the minors. We're not having expansion. And I even shouldn't even say the Yankees. Like the Yankees are on their own level, maybe with like the Dodgers or and Giants. But even to compete with like a Cubs or a Braves or a like a Pirates, it'd have to be the Mets, Mariners, and maybe a third team. I think. All right, franchise favorites Mets, Volume One or Version One, Mixer mode. I'm also going to save the Mets one as a quick start because we'll do the fast sim tonight so we can do the pack giveaways and then raid on over into Max. But I may do this as a recurring save and do highlights or play by play because I the whole reason I initially wanted to do this was to see all these players play together. Oh, you know what? Let's do one last thing. Let's look at just just so I can assure myself that I'm making the right decision here. Let's look at the Mets era Nolan Ryan. I'm like 99% sure there's no way he makes the cut, but because I like him so much as a pitcher, I have to check. Okay. Um, yeah, he doesn't have a whip below 1.25. But as soon as he gets to California, 1.137 whip, 10.4 strikeouts per nine, 329 strikeouts, then 383 strikeouts, then 367 strikeouts. Insane numbers. Insane numbers. Uh, yeah, crazy. But yeah, okay. I just wanted to make sure we were right that the Mets era Ryan does not make the cut. Okay, so before anything, let's make all the changes and save this as a quick start for all future franchise favorite seasons. And then I'll add the Mets and then save it as a quick start for the Mets season. And then we'll do the same. Coaching off, owner goals off, um, injuries off, suspensions off, no personalities, no morale, no chemistry, disabled development, disabled development labs, disabled development focus. Okay, league settings. That's okay. Yeah, playing in 2023, so DH is on. No trading, no draft. Options, All-Star game. Popularity is not a factor. Um, Pitchers do not win the MVP, and relievers do not win the Cy Young because everyone has their own awards. Okay. And we're going to lock the modifiers turned off. And I think we're good. Now, the mailbox always seems to reset itself, but I'm still going to try making the changes here before saving the quick start. As does the de facto do not disturb we set. Okay, so this is the base franchise favorites quick start. Am I forgetting anyone? Anything, chat? Anything we usually turn off? I think we turned everything off that we turn off. So let me save this as a quick start. Franchise favorites, QS01. Server for all franchise favorites, Sims with most functions turned off. Okay, so we'll save it. And then once I add the Mets, we will then save it as a Mets franchise favorite quick start. So let's clear out the roster. Let's import our players. We're going to use that file we created because it also helps us out by putting them all into our roster. Oh, it won't do it until I change. I have to change our abbreviation. Tomato. That's the opposite of what happens to me when I watch Cavacom. When Cava is looking at his choice packs, I always think my earbuds have died, and I look at my phone, and I'm like, "Oh, he's staring at his choice packs." That's funny that you thought I was on mute. That's great. All right, franchise time machine. Okay, now we should be able to import. And again, the reason I do that, if you're new to watching us do these sims, is I'd rather change one team's abbreviation than have to go into that file and change 26 destinations. So this is where potential ratings based on peak seasons of career, fielding ratings based on entire career, pitcher stamina on imported season. And I don't think we chose any seasons where they get nerfed, but we're gonna take these down a little bit just in case. All right, let's do it. We should have 26 imports. 26 players imported. Let's see what this roster looks like. Man, what happened to R.A. Dickey? Why is he 2 stars? Did we grab the right season? 2001. Oh, yeah, I grabbed the wrong season for R.A. Dickey. All right, let's do that again. R.A. Dickey. Oh, I'm blinding everyone with BREF. Does BREF have a dark mode? Yeah, he wasn't even with the Mets. It was supposed to be 2012. Okay. So for a one-off, I don't mind doing a single import. So what we can do is just copy his ID. We'll go back into the version pool. We'll do it import. We'll paste in here, and we want his 2012 season. Now he'll go into the free agent pool, but fortunately, there are no free agents. So, and he's still 2.5 stars. What the heck? Wow. R.A. Dickey getting shafted by the game, I think. Oh, sorry, I'm still showing VREF. There we go. Yeah, he's a 2.5 star pitcher. He won the Cy Young Award this season. And he's a 2.5 star pitcher. All right, let's assign him to the Mets. There's no way I picked the wrong season again, right? 2012. He goes 20-6. 2012, 20-6. 1.05 whip. And what year is this? 2012. And he's a 2.5 star pitcher. All right, well, welcome to your 2012 Cy Young 2.5 star pitcher, everybody. All right, we'll delete this version of R.A. Dickey. All right, does anyone else look weird? Um, Pete Alonso is only 3 stars. It's his 2019 season. That is the right season. He hits 53 bombs, but apparently that's a 3 star player. Okay. Who else is? I'm just making sure these are the right imports. Alfonso, 3 stars. This is his 2000 season. Yeah, he hit 324 with a 967 OPS. That's a 3 star season, I guess. I guarantee you other franchises are not starting 3 star players. Bernard Gilkey, Lance Johnson. This is his 96 season. 96. Yeah, he hits 333 with an 841 OPS. 21 triples. Okay. I mean, none of these are wrong. It's just that they're the Mets. So we have some 3 star players on our all time franchise team. All right, we'll go sabermetric strategy. Um, we'll do seventh inning defensive subs. Let's do pitching staffs. Let the AI pick and we'll make some adjustments. Gooden, DeGrom, Harvey. I want Seaver as my 3. Um, it's interesting. We have an all righty rotation. I kind of do want Cone in the rotation. I really liked watching him pitch. I mean, I get why they have Harvey in here. His rates are probably better. All right. I'm going with my gut. I want to see Cone pitch. And let's try to keep the AI from screwing us over. We'll go closer, closer, stopper, stopper, setup, setup, middle relief. This has worked for me pretty well in perfect team. So let's see if it works in base game. Okay. And let's see what the AI does for lineups. Interesting. It puts Howard Johnson at DH. Hmm. Let's see. Is he better versus lefties or righties? All right, Johnson's better versus righties. So we'll use Piazza as our DH versus lefties. He'll also be our. Oh, wait. What about Alonso? Okay. Piazza's our backup catcher. So we'll use Alonso as our DH versus lefties. Our triples hitters are not starting. Who's starting in left? Oh, it did go with Cleon Jones. Okay. I want Strawberry hitting cleanup. I want Hernandez hitting third. Oh, it's not starting Alfonso at second base? Ah, this is wacky. Oh, it's got McNeil starting. All right, McNeil can start. McNeil can start first righties, but I want Alfonso starting first lefties. Let's do that. Okay. All right. That's it. We're ready to go. Let's save this, and we'll save it as a Mets quick start. All right. Okay, I'm gonna close the form. I also need a refill of water, so let's roll as anyone who's working on their pack giveaway form. Please wrap it up and oh, Takmedo has a good suggestion. Move Harvey to the bullpen so he has more reliever stuff. Let's see. Okay, good. I did. Yeah, Harvey is in the pen. Did you know the Cubs have more wins against the American League than the White Sox? Oh my goodness, that is so sad. The Cubs have more wins against the American League than the White Sox do. I'm sure there are lots of crazy White Sox stats this season. It's hard to believe that a modern era team that is not an expansion team is giving the 62 Mets a run for the worst all time team. Because that Mets team is like so bad. I've simmed them so many times and they're so bad. But it's because they're just like a patchwork of washed up and never been players. And the White Sox are an established team and they are terrible. Oh, wait, hold on. I need to change their positions here to reliever. Okay. I might as well update the quick start too. Can I save over the quick start? Or will it say that already exists? Oh, so I'll have to save it as GS2. Okay. So yeah, let me roll some ads while I go get some water, take a bio break, and then we can do the sim uninterrupted. All right. Please finish up your forms. All right, I think we're back. Let's let me close the form unless anyone's still working on it. If I don't hear any objections, if I don't see any objections in the chat, I'm gonna close the forum. Also, I just realized if I'd been streaming on cam, I totally would have doxed myself because I'm still wearing my badge from a work event I went to tonight before coming on stream. All right, closing the form, generating the spreadsheet, hiding the first three rows for now. All right, as usual, you all have pretty good odds of winning. We have 5 entries tonight. And everyone, we all talk about Smiley Face Jane dominating these pack giveaways, and rightly so. But I feel like I've been submitting AW's name to OTP developments quite often too. So let's not forget that. I think he likes flying under the radar and letting Smiley Face Jane have the target on the back. But all right, so here's what we have. Will this team make the playoffs? Everyone seems to think they'll make the playoffs. Will a team make it to the World Series? All but one. Two think we will win the World Series. Uh, Everyone thinks someone on the team will win a major award, Cy Young or MVP. Talkmado saying 131 wins, Seaver, Cy Young. All right. We'll keep the regular season wins and war till the end. All right, here we go. Everything's saved. There's a quick start made. I do really like this little 2-game month we have here in March. Okay, we start 1-1. That does mean that either Gooden or Seaver lost their first start. So let's see what happened there. So Gooden won. Extra innings. So the loss is not on Seaver. Ooh, look at that win percentage chart. Yikes. Matt Harvey. Although really it's Kuzman who blew the save there. 3 runs, 3 earned in 2 innings. Kuzman getting rocked. Did we choose the right Kuzman? 1969. Yeah, that is the right Kuzman. He just got rocked. That happens. All right. Let's do another month. Oh, DeGrom started. Okay. Wait, so where is Seaver in the rotation? Oh, Seaver's third. Okay. 4.7 ERAs for Gooden and DeGrom. Interesting. I will say, I am excited now to do a save with this team. I'll maybe do like a few games a night, maybe once a week, and there'll be lots of good stuff we can do the pack giveaways on too when we do games like that. So man, the Braves keeping up with the all-time Mets. That's sad for the Mets. Cleon Jones, Player of the Week. 6 consecutive strikeouts by David Cone. I knew I wanted him in this save. David Cone, he was so fun to watch pitch. One of the things I really liked about Cone is how he was always messing around with his arm slot. He'd be over the top, 3/4, sometimes side arming it, just like the kind of stuff you do as a kid, right? Like, but he was doing it in the majors. It was awesome. Okay, well, the sad thing is the all-time Mets are 3 games behind the regular 2023 Braves. Mets gonna Met. So sad. Such a sad franchise. Oh man. I will feel bad for any of these franchise teams that cannot win their division. That's a sad commentary. Okay, I turned off owner goals. Why is the owner bothering me? All right, at least we pulled ahead of the regular 2023 Braves. And we are barely ahead of the Yankees for best record in the majors. And let me remind you, this is the best of the best Mets, and we are barely leading the majors. That's true. At least the Mets have made multiple World Series. That is true. That is true, Max. Pitcher of the month, Jake DeGrom. All right, we are still leading the majors. Twins with 33 wins in the AL Central. Mariners leading the AL West, Max, by half a game. The Red Sox have pulled ahead of the Yankees by half a game. 2 games in the loss column. The Giants, 36 wins in the NL West, actually second in the majors now. That's unexpected. All right, let's just sim straight to the All Star game. Okay, this is disturbing. This is the best of Mets of all time, and we are barely staying ahead of the Braves, the regular 2023 Braves. We did have a 12-game winning streak. Uh, Dwight Gooden struck out 8 batters in a row. That's pretty amazing. And DeGrom with a 11-game win streak. Let me take a screenshot of this achievement screen. What else do we have here? Bat of the month. 4-game home run streak by Alonso. 11-game quality start streak by Tom Seaver. And another team 8-game winning streak. 63 wins, 700 win percentage. Finally pulling a little bit ahead of the rest of the right? But like this was like a Yankees all-time team. They'd have 80 wins by now, maybe 70. I don't know. I don't. Yeah, uh, it's just aggravating. The mediocrity is just aggravating. Okay, let's finish today. We're at the All Star break now. Let's see if how many of our players made the All Star team. Uh, Great. No one at catcher, no one at first base, no one at second base. At least David Wright is second in the voting. Our all-time greatest third baseman is second in the voting. Our all-time greatest catcher, first baseman, and second baseman don't even crack the top 3. Left field, nobody. Center field, Carlos Beltran. Okay, second place. Still can't beat Mookie Betts. Regular Mookie Betts. Peak Dal Strawberry can't beat out regular Ronald Acuna. And our DH is nowhere to be seen. Okay, and again, I will keep saying this. Tom Vito says your 2 all-time Mets sims, they won 133 and 134. I just have bad luck. I think it's the Mets being the Mets. Um, this is every sim though. Oh, that's right. I do have the DH Plume. Thank you, Takvedo. You're right. Every sim, none of my starting pitchers ever get All-Star votes. We will probably win the Cy Young Award, and we will not get an All-Star vote. The relievers, even worse. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at our starting set. We've got a 10-1 David Cone with a 1.04 whip. Not a sniff in the All-Star voting. We got 11-3 Tom Seaver, 2.17 ERA. Nowhere near the All-Star voting. let's see. We've got a 16 save Billy Wagner with a .72 ERA and a .68 WHIP. And where is he in the reliever All-Star voting? Nowhere. The AI voters hate created or imported pitchers. For some reason, they get no All-Star love. Diaz hasn't allowed an earned run, and he's not. Well, let's look up Diaz. Well, that might be. He might not have got enough innings there, though, Max. But that is crazy. No earned runs, .55 WHIP. His ERA plus 999. Amazing. I'm screenshotting this in protest of the lack of all-star votes from the AI. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Or from my one of my favorite SNL skits when Ludacris is on, his childhood friend Rick Diculous. That's why my friends would just look at this and say, "This is Rick Diculous." All right, let's go back to the all-star roster here. Let me copy this. I'm going to paste it into my record-keeping notepad. It is just aggravating. I mean, the All Star voting. I mean, come on. Come on, AI. All right, at least DeGrom got chosen. This is the thing. It eventually usually gets it right on the selections, but the voting is somehow. Okay. Oh, that's actual DeGrom. That's actual DeGrom. Let's see how peak DeGrom. Peak DeGrom did not get chosen. Okay, Tom Seaver at least got chosen. 11-3, 2.17 ERA. But none of our relievers got chosen. The AI will screw you on the All Star voting and screw you on the All Star game. For some reason, it doesn't have the same problem with the batters. Actually, I wonder if I should post this in the forum as a potential bug because it is crazy that some of these pitching stat lines don't get votes. Not even top five. I don't know. It seems off. I mean, over 7-6 Yu Darvish with a 3.01 ERA. No, there you go. Smiley face Jane got the All Star game in Phillies, and Roy Halladay is 14-0 and didn't finish top five in voting. I'm telling you, there's something with the AI in the All Star voting. Did Smiley face Jane? Did your Halladay get selected at least to the All Star game? Okay, at least they got selected. I mean, here none of our relievers or our great starters got selected. It doesn't happen with the batters. The batters always make sense. Well, for the most part, seem to make sense, right? All right, Gary Carter got selected. David Wright got selected. Carlos Beltran got selected. Darryl Strawberry got selected. But for the pitchers, it never seems to work right. All right, well, let's see who's in the home run contest. Darryl Strawberry with 29 home runs at the All Star break. He is our only representative. And he wins the first round 10-7 over Spencer Steer. And he advances 14-10 over Nolan Gorman in the final against Marcell Ozuna. Ozuna beat Giancarlo Stanton 11-4 in the first round. My batters give 0 Fs about batting average. We'll go back and check that. Daryl Strawberry, all right, wins the home run contest. Way to go, Daryl. All right, let's check out our not our pitching staff, but our batters, right? Mike Schmidt and Dick Allen both have 40 home runs at the break. Wow. Let's look up some batting stats here. Well, Pete Alonso hitting 224 doesn't surprise me too much, but yeah, these are pretty bad batting averages. Jose Reyes, who we took on the strength of a 337 average, is hitting 247. Cleon Jones, who hit 340, is hitting 266. Beltran, who hit 300, is hitting 231. Strawberry hitting 257 doesn't surprise me, but Keith Hernandez, who hit 310, 314, is hitting 285. The only one really playing to their actual season is Mike Piazza in a backup catcher role. Howard Johnson's second home run in. I thought he was. Oh no, you're right. He is platooning in DH. 21 bombs. Gilkey looks good in limited time. Yeah, 341. No triples though. Who's our other triples here? Lance Johnson, no triples. I still can't believe Edwin Diaz hasn't given up a earned run yet. That was a good catch by Max. All right, let's finish out the All Star game. Um, Sim the day. Quick play the All Star game. The NL wins 6-4. Let's see how our Mets did. Ooh, look at that win probability percentage graph. Let's see. Beltran pinch hit goes 1 for 1 and walks twice. Nice job. D Wright pinch hits goes 1 for 3, strikes out twice. Gary Carter pinch hits, draws a walk and strikes out. Dal Strawberry goes 0 for 1, stranding 3. And what about Tom Seaver? Gets rocked in his 1 inning start. All right. Well, overall, decent showing by the Mets. It helps that the NL also scored 2 runs in the first, so it got Seaver off the hook. And a 3-run eighth. I wonder if the Mets had anything to do with that. Top of the eighth. South Lakes Beltran gets it started with a walk. Bryce Harper strikes out. Juan Soto gets hit by a pitch. D Wright hits a double, scoring Beltran. Gary Carter draws a walk, keeps the inning going. Strawberry flies out. Nolan Jones gets a single, driving in another. Okay, yeah, the Mets are all over that inning, so that's great. All right, let's go back to the standings. We'll finish out the season. Okay, at the end of July, the Mets are 73-33 and 10 games ahead of the Giants for the Major League lead. They got off to a slow start, but they're finally starting to play like an all-time greats team, although they still can't shake the Braves. The actual 2023 Braves. I don't know, 11-game shutdown streak by Edwin Diaz, 16-game shutdown streak by Billy Wagner. Why can we not? Even the Phillies. We're only 8 games ahead of the real 2023 Phillies. Come on, this is the all-time franchise team. What are you doing? All right, we're on September 1st, so we'll go to the end of the regular season. Are we going to get to 100 wins? Come on. This is an all-time franchise team, and oh, Mets, 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 Mets. We got to 100 wins at least. This is sad. It's an all-time franchise team, and we don't even get to 110 wins. The regular Mariners got to 114 wins. Jeez. I told you this was not going to go well for the Mets. We just don't have the depth of talent despite 50 years of existence. 60 years of existence, almost. Oh man, the Mets. Why do I like this team? The best of the entire franchise can only win 105 games. I guarantee you, when we do all these other teams, 105 is going to be like last place. Maybe the Marlins. Maybe we'll beat the Marlins. Oh man. All right. The White Sox won 58. Let's see. They did. The Royals barely stayed ahead of them with 59. Well, again, this is 2023. Completely different talent base in 2024. All right. Let's finish the season. We had a 33 player in Carlos Beltran, 2020 players in David Wright and Daryl Strawberry, and we are going to the playoffs. We did not win our last game, so we are stuck at 105, of course. Of course. Because it's the Mets. You could argue that the Nationals inflated the win total. Yeah, that's true. Oh man. You know what? I got to see the team by team. Who kept this from? All right, Mets. We won one game against the Dodgers. Are you serious? It's the best players across the history of our franchise, and we win one stinking game against the actual 2023 Dodgers. If we hadn't won 11 against the Nationals, we wouldn't have even made 100. Yeah, 11 wins over the Nationals. Without that, we're not even at 100. Jeez. And we couldn't even win any games against this FTM team. I'm just kidding. That's us. But one game against the Dodgers, that's ridiculous. Ah, jeez. All right. All right, let's screenshot the standings and then we'll do the postseason. I couldn't even beat those FTM shows. No wins against them at all. See, this is what I mean. This is the best of our franchise, and we get 105 wins. There are other franchises who win 105 games with their regular teams on a regular basis. No, not the Mets. I think your screenshot was depressed. All right, let's watch the postseason. There's some packs riding on this postseason. All right, the Yankees and Blue Jays in one wild card, the Braves and the Phillies in the other. All right, I'm a little worried that the Braves advance. That's the other 100 win team in the majors, and the Blue Jays advance to play the Rays. All right, we'll quick play these one game at a time. Colin McHugh starting against Dwight Gooden. This is 85 Dwight Gooden. Should be a stud. Probably not because of the game engine. We'll see. I'm getting more and more pessimistic the more this goes on. All right, we managed to win 7-2. Dwight Gooden with a performance of the day. Scatters 5 hits and 2 walks over 7 innings with 8 strikeouts. Howard Johnson 1 for 2 with a home run and 4 RBI. there should be a platoon player of the year, then Howard Johnson would win that. All right, game two, also in New York. Spencer Strider against Jake DeGrom. Two players benefiting from the injuries turned off. And we lose. Syndergaard picks up the loss in the pen with his 13.5 postseason ERA. Spencer Strider throws 5 innings of shutout balls, 12 strikeouts in 5 innings against the Mets. DeGrom, 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned, 1 walk, and 9 strikeouts. So not DeGrom's fault. 3 runs in the eighth by the Braves. Put it away. All right. Well, next is a travel day. And we're in Atlanta. Peak Tom Seaver against regular Max Fried. And of course, the Braves win 7-1. Peak Tom Seaver with a 12.46 points postseason ERA. Max Fried, 6 1/3, 7 hits, no walks, 10 strikeouts. And the all time Mets are down 2 games to 1 to the regular old 2023 Braves. All right, we've got David Cohn against Charlie Morton. Good thing this doesn't hurt his Cy Young. Yeah. All right. And the Mets managed to win 10-4. 5 runs in the first. Make that possible. Kuzman with a win in relief. Keith Hernandez goes 5 for 6, collecting 5 hits and 4 RBI in a playoff game. Interesting. Reyes, check this performance out. 0 for 2, 5 runs. That is one of the greatest things I've seen in a while. I'm going to screenshot this. 0 for 2, 5 runs, 4 walks. He got on some other way too. 4 walks. He either got on in a fielder's choice or an error or something because he scored that 5th run. All right. Travel day. Back to New York. Expecting a Bonds from McGuire, not Reyes. That's for sure. All right. Spencer Strider, regular. I will say again, regular Spencer Strider against peak 1985. Dwight Gooden. Ah, what the all-time Mets lose to the regular 2023 Braves 3-1 and are eliminated. And Doc Tomato using my own backflip emote against me. Oh man. Jeez. Okay, we're just going to the tree now. We're going to the playoff tree. Mm. The regular 2023. Now look, I mean nothing against the 2023 Atlanta Braves. They're a great team. This is supposed to be the all-time Mets. And we still can't beat the regular Braves. So of course, what chance do the regular Mets have against the regular Braves? No chance. No chance. No chance. All right. All right. It's the Braves and Dodgers against the Rays and Twins. Where's AW? The Rays are in the ALCS. I blame Terry Collins. All right. The Dodgers beat okay. So by the transitive property, the Dodgers would have beaten us. The Twins sweep the Rays. Where's AW? The Rays just got swept. Twins, Dodgers in the World Series. That's interesting. So the Mariners still can't make the World Series in a video game. That's right, Max. Oh, I guarantee you, though, with the talent the Mariners have had over their history, they will do better than 105 games and losing in the NL in the division series than the Mets. I guarantee it. Even with Nolan picking the roster. I'm just kidding, Nolan. I'm sure you did a fine job. Okay, let's see who wins this World Series. Wow, the Twins, gentlemen sweep 4-1. Oh man, so depressing. Our season score is 800. That's the lowest score I think I've gotten in any sim. All-time Mets lowest season score of any sim I've done. That might end up being the lowest of all the sims we do. It's sad. Super sad. This is sad. Okay, well, let's look at some stats. We'll do the postseason awards. Reported TiVo. That's amazing. Smiley Face Jane says I should have imported TiVo. Maybe I should have imported Lindor. Tomato says, I guess you should have played them against the average league. And you know what, Tomato? It would have hurt even more when the Mets lose that World Series. I mean, look at the stats 17-4, 18-8, 15-9, 14-6, 14-9. Yeah, average infielder for MVP. uh, Gooden came in with 289 strikeouts. David Cohen right behind with 277. I'm glad I went with Cohen. I went with my gut. I wanted to watch him pitch, and he did a good job. Pedro with a .97 whip. Tom Seaver with a .96 whip. What might be a predictor of things to come? We know that the AI loves WAR when it comes to postseason stuff. Dwight Gooden has a 7.5 WAR. Syndergaard really found a spot in the bullpen there with 31 holds. Matt Harvey, yeah, really solid in the pen. .9 whip. Edwin Diaz finally gave up an earned run, gave up two. Uh, for a minuscule .7 ERA and a .58 whip. And let's see, Billy Wagner, 23 saves. He really slowed down from the All Star break because his ERA ballooned to 2.11, but he kept the whip below one. Got some really nice strikeout per nine numbers, led by, well, among the starters, led by Dwight Gooden with 12.9. In the bullpen, led by Edwin Diaz with 14. And in a rarity, we have lots of positive wars in the pen. All right. The pitchers definitely came through. Noah over 100 innings pitched in relief. Yeah, well, so I put him and Kuzman in stopper roles, so that tends to happen. Um, in hindsight, trusting Kuzman in that stopper role might have been a mistake. Might have been better off going on with like a Randy Myers or something. But yeah, Syndergaard did well in that role for sure. Okay, let's look at the batters, see how they did. Let's see if their batting average has improved at all. Let's sort by OPS. So smaller sample sizes off the bench, Piazza and Gilkey with plus 950 OPSs. Strawberry with a career high 43 home runs. We were sabermetric, so we weren't going to get a ton of stolen bases, but Strawberry with 27 steals and only six caught. Who's this with 28 steals? David Wright with 28 stolen bases. Imagine that against four caught. Beltran with 34 steals, Cleon Jones with 29, and Reyes with 29. Uh, Reyes did hit some triples. He had 11 to go with 17 bombs. Yeah, our team was not interested in batting average. McNeil got over 300. Um, where's Keith Hernandez? 276. That's a little disappointing. I mean, just like the 86 Mets, just like the Mets in general, the pitching carried the team. Some of the batters did okay, but it's mostly a pitching led team here. Alfonso, Max talking about Alfonso's WAR. Yeah, point 0.2 WAR, the lowest among the batters. Lance Johnson second with point 0.8 off the bench. Lance Johnson in 95 plate appearances had more WAR than Alfonso in 373 appearances. Yes, lots of disappointment at the plate. That is the typical of the Mets. And the only reason the pitching staff didn't disappoint is because I turned off um, injuries. So, yes, all time mess is more like it. That's correct. All right, let me screenshot these stats. Batters, pitchers. I mean, this probably is an era thing, but I am surprised some of these stat lines that Seaver, Pedro, and Gooden only won 14 and 15 games. But I will say that the game does a good job of this, though. You took peak Tom Seaver, who probably threw like 15, 20 complete games, right, in his peak season. And he threw 202 innings in 2023, which is probably what he would have done if you could have brought, like it does a good job of, I think, adjusting to certain eras. I think the pitching innings thing it did a pretty good job of I think recreating what it would be like in the modern era. Yeah, no run support. Let's look at the team offense here. I'm sure we're near the bottom of the league and at least in the bottom of the playoff teams in terms of run support. The Mets scored, well, actually, it's not too bad 914 runs. Although, what's will be interesting is I bet 914 is near the bottom of the barrel, though, for franchise teams. That's the thing. We have to compare to other franchise teams, and that's where we're probably going to fall short for sure. All right. Let's do the postseason awards, and I think we're done. Oh, and we'll give away our packs. All right. Let's Great Glove Awards. I don't really think we have anyone in the running for this, so I'm not surprised we didn't win any. Hey, D Block, what's going on? We're doing remember that franchise favorites thing I was doing where I had different affiliates send me their favorite players for their favorite team. I'm starting it now with the Mets, and it was disappointing. Here's what we're doing today. Franchise favorites, all time Mets. We did the roster build and the sim to kick off the series, and as Talkmado said, as expected, we were disappointed. I was disappointed, especially. All right, so no Gold Gloves. Not a surprise. That team was not built for defense. Relief of the year. I can't really blame them because we did have a drop off at the end there, so I don't think we Now, Edwin Diaz, though, in a non-closer role, maybe should get some consideration. No, we don't have anyone in the top six votes. That's a little disappointing. But let's move on to the Platinum Stick Awards. We should win a couple of these, right? Wow, only two. The best Mets of all time brought to 2023, and we only get two Silver Slugger awards. That says plenty about how sad the Mets are as a franchise. The all-time Mets can only win two Silver Slugger awards. Gary Carter at catcher and David Wright at third base, who even by his standards had an off season. That's sad. Sad Mets. Uh-oh. Am I getting laggy? No, we're good. I mean, some of these other teams, they're going to bring in their all-time best, and they might win 9 Silver Slugger awards. Um, it only shows two, but usually it shows the number and then shows two. But yeah, you're right, Sonic Face. It usually only lists two names. Yeah, Acuna did beat out Strawberry. I'm sure it helps that the AI loves stolen bases, and Acuna had a seemingly higher batting average than Strawberry. Nico Horner seems like he did a lot more of the base pass than he did with the bat. Yes, and like I said, the AI loves stolen bases. Trey Turner, 292, 19 bombs, but he had 52 stolen bases. If you look down the list, right, Brian Reynolds, 37 stolen bases. Nolan Jones, 35 stolen bases. The AI loves stolen bases. Hey, D Block, I think George Brett should probably get one, but if someone at third base steals a lot of bases, you better watch out. The AI loves stolen bases. All right, let's did I copy and paste this? I think I did. Yep, I did. We have all of these. Nico Horner, 71 steals. Spencer Steer, 35 steals. All right, what's next? What's the next award? What's the next depressing award? Rookie of the Year. I doubt we had any. Oh, no, we did have a couple of rookies on our team. Kuzma was a rookie, but he got rocked. All right, Cy Young. Here's the big one. We had, think this might be a tiebreaker. We did not win the Cy Young award. Who won the Cy Young award? Clayton Kershaw. Okay, we came in fourth and fifth, and that's it. What did Kershaw do? 17 and 6, 2.55 ERA. I don't think that should dominate our pitchers. I'm calling BS on that. That we finished fourth and no, we finished fourth and fifth seems ridiculous. All right, well, MVP award. There might be a tiebreaker riding in this. Oh wait, no, I think everyone put yes, so I don't think it. And we do not win the MVP award. We finished fourth. Strawberry finished fourth. Wright finished fifth. All-time best. Just as a reminder, these are the best players and the best seasons ever to have played for the Mets, and we can't win an MVP or a Cy Young award against regular 2023 players. That's the quality of the Mets organization over time. Yeah, yeah, that actually sounds about right. Actually, no. The Cy Young is a ridiculous. That the 1985 or the 1985 Dwight Gooden or the 1971 Tom Seaver could not win a Cy Young Award in 2023 is sad slash ridiculous. All right. Um, I think that's it. Okay, so let's save this. Let's save this disaster. Here's another. I will predict maybe other than the Marlins simulations. The other thing is we may be the only team that gets shut out of both Cy Young and MVP awards. That's another prediction. We'll see what happens. Now I have to sit through 29 more of these and watching other teams do better than my team's all-time greats. Maybe except the Marlins. All right, let's give away some packs and then we'll raid on over to Max. I will say though, I did like putting this slide together. Looking through pictures of the Mets, found a cool Tom Seaver, found a cool David Wright, but pretty sad outcome. All right, for the purposes of seeing who wins, I will unhide the Twitch username column. All right, will this team make the playoffs? Yes. Will the team make it to the World Series? Yes, we did. No, we didn't, I mean. No. So, okay, so we already have a winner. The winner of first place in 7 packs will be Clay Dog. So we did not make the World Series, so we're going to skip past column F. Then will anyone from this team win the Cy Young or MVP? Everyone said yes. The answer was no. How many regular season games will this team win? We won 105. The closest was 104. Skyrola wins second place in 3 packs. Congratulations. And then just to see, what will be the team leading war? I don't think we looked at that. What was the team leading war? I mean, it doesn't matter, but I am kind of curious to see who came closest in that. So, on the batting side, the highest war was 5.9 by David Wright. But we were a pitching heavy team. So on the pitching side, you know what? This is sad. 7.5 was the highest war. Really? All time greatest Mets? All time greatest Mets. And the best we can manage in 2023 is a 7.5 war. That's really sad. I don't know. What are we doing? Oh, 7.5. Almost everyone overshot. The closest is Claydock is point 0.7 away. Skyrola is point 0.6 away. So yeah, it's Claydog and Skyrola all day. Oh wait, yeah, mate, hold on, Max is right. Did they make it to the playoffs? Yes. No, wait, no. Will they make it to the World Series? So yeah, so after this, we just jump to the next. There is no Oh no, you're right, Max. No, the second, yeah. So then we go to the next part. Did they win the World Series? No. Yeah, no, I think Max is right. So then the next, so yeah, so it's Max and Smiley Face Jane tied for second, and then will anyone from this team? Everyone said yes, so no one wins. And then Max is closest to 103. Yeah, sorry, Skyrola. It is Claydog and Max. Max is right. That they did not win the World Series, which they guessed correctly. So that's right. Yeah, Max is right. So it's Claydog and Max. Good catch, Max. That sounds like I'm talking to a dog. Good boy, good catch. Good catch that frisbee, Max. All right. So 7 packs to Claydog, 3 packs to Max. They didn't make it to the World Series, but then the next question is, do they win the World Series? And you guys said no correctly. Right. So we should just go question by question. And then by virtue of that, then it's Max and Smiley Face Jane. Because while everyone said they would make it to the World Series, you correctly said that they would not win the World Series. So I think that's right. I'm sticking with that. So Clay Dog first, Max second. Um, yeah. So yeah, man, the Mets. I don't know. Yeah, you get the best players in the history of the franchise, and they manage 105 wins and a loss in the division series. That's about right, I guess. All right. Well, I hope you all had fun. Even though it was disappointing and I'm sad, it was still fun. I had fun putting together the roster. I had fun looking at the stats and reminiscing about some of these players. I had fun learning about John Matlack and how good he was. And you know what? I'm still going to redo this save, and I'm going to do highlights and play by play. It'll be like a once a week thing. We'll still do pack giveaways based on the outcomes of those games. I want to watch David Cohn pitch. I want to watch Tom Seaver pitch. Mostly about the pitchers. I want to see these guys pitch. But yeah, and then I will start working my way through the other rosters I've received from other people. I'll probably do them in the order I receive them. So I think Cheeky would probably be up next with his Padres. Um, and yeah, it'll be just another thing we have in the mix along with our experiments and other sims. I am streaming Friday afternoon, I think at 3:30 Pacific. And I think I'm going to do the part two of the sliders experiment with the improvements that we discussed. We'll do stolen base attempts because I think there'll be more data points we can look at, and I think we're just going to look at uh, 0 as a control, +5 0. So here's the change I want to make. I'm going to go 0 team, 0 player, +5 team, +5 adjust, +5 team, +5 override, and +5 team, 0 player adjust or override. Maybe 0 adjust. I probably have to be specific, and we'll see what that looks like. We'll probably find out we have to do it with 8, but doing it with 4 I think makes it short enough to do in that time period. So yeah, come check that out. I'll be doing a pack giveaway. I'll be doing pack giveaways in the afternoon, and I'm still streaming Friday night, and I'll still have pack giveaways for Friday night. So I got permission from OT Developments to do pack giveaways at the daytime stream too, on the rare occasions that I do a daytime stream. So thanks everybody. Thanks also to Ezra Denny for the stream or for the raid. It's always appreciated. And thanks to all of you for hanging out and participating. And thanks to OT Developments for the packs. All right, we're going to raid on over. Max, are you ready for me to raid? You're welcome, Clay Dog. I hope you had fun. All right, Max is ready, so we're going to raid into him. I'll be lurking and doing some drafts, and I may also pop in and hang out with Ophi and Stitch and Sensei Martian as well. In fact, let's give a little shout out to while we wait for the raid to set up to Ophi and Stitch. One of my favorite post stream hangouts.